If you're waiting for perfect rates, perfect prices, perfect timing, I love you, but that's a trap. In Southern California, LA, Orange County, the Inland Empire, there's always going to be something that makes people hesitate. So today I'm giving you 6 signs that you're actually ready to buy a home in SoCal, even if you don't feel 100% confident yet. And I'm going to keep this real, what the sign looks like, why it matters, and what to do next. And stay to the end because I'll share the #1 mistake that keeps buyers stuck for months while they think they're being smart by waiting. Hi, I'm Rebecca Tekeian. I'm a realtor here in Southern California, and I'm also a licensed professional clinical counselor. So yes, we're going to talk about the numbers and the nervous system today on living in Southern California. If you're thinking about buying in LA, Orange County, or the IE, and you want honest guidance without the pressure, you're in the right place. Before we get into the 6 signs, here's the mindset shift that separates buyers who make progress from buyers who stay in, well, someday. Buying in SoCal is not about timing the market perfectly. It's about building a buy box and a plan. A buy box is basically what you can afford comfortably, where you're willing to live, and what kind of home you're targeting. Condo, townhome, single family, fixer, turnkey, all of it. And the plan is what steps happen first, what you're waiting on, and what you're not waiting on anymore. Okay, let's get into the signs. Sign number 1, your monthly payment range is becoming predictable. So as your monthly payment range is becoming predictable, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be down to the exact dollar, but you're not living in the land of, I have no idea. If I ask you right now, what payment feels comfortable, you can answer with a range that makes sense for your life. Not what a random online calculator says, not what your cousin did in 2021, your life. Because in LA, OC, and the IE, buyers get stuck when they focus on purchase price and ignore what the payment actually means month to month. If your payment number feels like a foggy monster, your brain will keep avoiding it. That's normal. Avoidance lowers anxiety short term and increases it long term. We're not doing that. We're getting clarity. So what to do next? I'd like clients to take a look at 3 payment scenarios. This feels easy, this feels doable, and this is a stretch and I don't want to live here. Those are our 3 levels. Once you know that, we stop guessing and we start filtering like a grown-up. Sign number 2, you have a down payment plan, even if it's not 20%. And I want to say this clearly, you do not need 20% down to buy a home. A lot of buyers in Southern California buy with less, especially on condos and townhomes. The point isn't the number. The point is that you have a plan. That plan includes where the money is coming from, what amount you're aiming for, and the timeline. And also, you're not draining yourself to zero, because readiness isn't just, can I get in? It's, can I get in and still sleep at night? So if you're saving consistently, even if it's not massive, if it's steady and protected, that's a real readiness sign. If you're still moving money around last minute like a magic trick, we slow down and organize. You'll feel calmer instantly. Sign number 3, you're stable enough for the next 3 to 5 years. So this sign is really important because where you are the next 3 to 5 years dictates a lot. And I'm not saying everything is perfect. Life isn't. But you're not in a season where you're like, well, I might move out of state, or I might switch careers next month, or I might go back to school full time, or we might have major changes in the next year. If big changes are very likely, homeownership might still be possible, but we need a different strategy and a different level of caution. In the Inland Empire especially, I'll see people choose it for space and affordability, but they haven't fully thought through the commute or lifestyle shift. In LA and Orange County, sometimes people stretch and then feel trapped. So ask yourself, would buying create stability for me, or would it add pressure to an already chaotic season? If it creates stability, that's a green light. Sign number 4, your credit isn't perfect, but it's not a mystery. You need to know in order to move forward. I don't need you to have some mythical perfect score. I need you to know what's going on. You roughly know your score band, and more importantly, you're not accidentally sabotaging yourself by opening new credit lines randomly, financing furniture, co-signing, or doing big financial moves without asking. This is where I'll say, I have trusted lenders I work with who are really good at strategy. Not pressure, strategy. They can do a check-in and say, here's where you are, here's what would help, and here's what to avoid. And honestly, for a lot of buyers, that one conversation is the moment anxiety drops by like 50%. Let's jump into sign number 5. Your must-haves are realistic and in your budget. This is where I'm going to be lovingly direct. If you have a list of 12 must-haves, you don't have must-haves. You have a Pinterest board. And I'm not judging you. I love Pinterest board, but it's not a purchase strategy. In SoCal, the buyers who win, especially in LA and OC, are the ones who get clear on the difference between must-haves, the deal breakers, and the nice-to-haves, the wish list. So a must-have might be like 2 bedrooms, a specific commute, specific parking, and nice-to-haves might be a pool, fully remodeled, a massive yard. And if you're in the IE, you might get more space, so your must-haves shift. If you're in OC or coastal pockets, the trade-offs change. If you're in LA, neighborhood becomes its own category. So what to do next? Pick your top 2 to 3 non-negotiables and then decide what you're flexible on. When buyers do this, homes suddenly start showing up that actually make sense. Sign number 6. And this one is huge. You're emotionally ready for the process. Because buying a home is not just a spreadsheet, it's a decision marathon. You might need to tour homes that are almost, feel disappointment and have to keep going, negotiate repairs, make decisions quickly, hear no and still not spiral. If you're someone who gets overwhelmed, that doesn't mean you can't buy. It means you need structure. You need support. You need a plan that keeps you regulated. But you also need to be willing to make decisions. The market doesn't wait for us to feel 100% calm. We make a plan so your body can tolerate the moment. So the sign is, even if you're nervous, you're not avoiding. You're willing to take the next step with the right support around you. Okay, here's the mistake I promised. The one that keeps people stuck for months. They scroll listings instead of building the plan. They treat Zillow like therapy. And again, no judgment. It feels productive. It feels like you're doing something. But scrolling without a plan usually creates more comparison, more confusion, and more anxiety. The plan is what creates momentum. Comfort payment range, down payment and reserves, lender strategy check, clear must-haves, neighborhood shortlist, touring, and offer strategy. That's a plan. When you do those steps in order, you stop feeling powerless. So, if you heard yourself in a few of these signs, here's your next best step. Book a strategy session with me. I'll link it here in the description. We'll talk through your goals, LA, Orange County, or the Inland Empire, and I'll help you build your buy box and a real plan. And if it makes sense, I'll connect you with one of my trusted lenders to run strategy and see where you actually stand. And this is important. Being ready is one thing, but avoiding expensive mistakes is the other half of the equation. So after you watch this, I want you to go to my video called 10 Expensive Mistakes First-Time Buyers Make in Southern California. It's the perfect companion to this one because it'll help you protect your money, your time, and your sanity once you start touring and writing offers. And if you want a follow-up video, tell me in the comments. Do you want the next one to be the first 30 days of the SoCal home buying plan, or how to buy a condo or townhome as your first step in SoCal? Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm Rebecca Tekeian, and I'll see you in the next one.